The right skills aren't just valuable. They unlock the freedom to live on your own terms. When I first started out with my career, I felt stuck trying to figure out exactly what skills to learn, which would give me the most freedom. Skills that would allow me to work from anywhere, earn without limits, and also to secure my future, regardless of the changes in the industry or the technical advances like AI. And so in this video, I wanted to share these 5 skills I focused on that created the freedom I wanted. The ability to figure things out. Your ability to solve unfamiliar problems without guidance is becoming the highest paid meta skill in today's economy. Because there's nothing more certain than uncertainty. Even if you have learned to be the best at doing X, but you're not able to figure out a solution to a problem that you have never seen before, you will become dependent on others to tell you what you need to do if you don't have the skill to figure things out on your own. But when you develop the skill, you will grow your income in ways you cannot even imagine. And I know it because everything that I have achieved so far was led by the skill. And then in your career, people will start to fight to get and to keep you. Because they know that when a problem comes up, you will just go and figure it out, whether you've done it before or not. And that kind of attitude is so rare and super valuable. And then over time, you will naturally get more responsibility, bigger problems to solve, and also way more opportunities coming your way, just because of the skill. When it comes to developing the skill, we need to learn that failure and iteration are our biggest friends. Because if you think about it, how did we learn to walk? Did we just get up one day and then we just walked our way? No, we tried to get up and then we fell and then we did it again and then again. And after the hundreds of tries, we were finally able to walk a few meters. And then we learned and memorized it over time, what we needed to do. And now we can walk without even thinking about it anymore. And at the end, the same goes for any other problem we will face in our lives. First, we will need to come up with an hypothesis, something we believe should work, by doing some research and also looking at others and how they have done it. And then we just try. We do it despite of our fear of failure and our belief that we need to learn more to do so. And then we make a mistake, and then we get feedback, and then we improve. And then we repeat this process over and over again until we become really good at the thing. At the end, the greatest danger is that we never make the first step, that we tell ourselves we can't, that we overanalyze everything and never expose our ideas and our solution to the world. The thing is, as I started off with my latest job, I was faced with the problem of improving our documentation of our technical product. And I had no idea where I should start. How does a good documentation look like? And if I would be able to do it all together. But then I just dove in. I just read a little bit about documentation, looked at how others were doing it, and then I just started to work on it and wrote the first section. And now, a few years later, it has become the knowledge source of many of our customers. And we get constantly feedback on how good our documentation is. And now, without this skill and my belief in my ability to figure things out, I would have never achieved it. And I would just have given up. Persuasion. The quality of your life often comes down to how well you can get others to believe in you. Whether it's convincing someone to hire you, become a client, invest in your idea, support your project, or even just go out with you. It all comes down to persuasion. Now, a lot of people, including myself in the beginning, think persuasion is something bad. Like it's about manipulating people or pushing them into something they don't want to do. But that's not real what persuasion is, because real persuasion is about explaining clearly your point of view and showing the benefits, and then actually delivering on what you promised and more. It's becoming the best employee they've ever had, putting your heart into a project and then going the extra mile to exceed their expectations. The goal isn't to win at someone else's expense. It's about creating this win-win situation where both sides then walk away better off. Writing. Writing structures our thoughts. It helps us solve problems and ultimately helps us get what we want out of life. The more we write, the better we think. And the better we think, the more problems we can solve. Problems that stand between you and the life you want. And writing forces you to bring structures to your thoughts, to discover what you don't know yet, and thereby open up opportunities to learn and to grow. At Amazon, every time someone wants to develop a new product feature, they are required to write out a full press release. A piece of writing that just announces the feature to the world, clarifying what it is and how it works. Now why? Why is that? Because it forces the person to really think things through. Because it's in the moment when you sit down and you need to write something that you will realize if you have all your points straight or if you need to keep digging. And maybe it also turns out that the thing you thought would be so great isn't great after all. It's easy to fool ourselves by just thinking about something and then never making it concrete. And next to that, writing is the basis of all content you consume, from movies to books and even YouTube videos. With writing, you can participate in the creation of media. And media is one of the biggest forms of permissionless leverage we have in our time. Permissionless because anyone can participate and post something online without needing anyone's permission to do so. High leverage because you only need to produce one piece of content once, but then it can be potentially seen by millions globally. And therefore, writing helps you to get people in front of your products, attract potential partners, and also stand out in a crowded job market. And then you can use it to create new job opportunities, because your online presence is becoming the newest resume. You can also generate a side or independent income through sharing your ideas and helping others online. At the end then, those who learn to write well will not only exceed in their given field, they will create opportunities to succeed in any area of their life. Relationships, finance, and at the end the most important one, learning to understand yourself and getting clarity on what you actually want out of life. Programming. Programming will give you modern day superpowers. You get the ability to build solutions that work for you while you sleep and scale to millions without needing any additional effort. With programming, you're essentially telling a computer a set of steps to perform, steps to automate a repetitive task or solve a complex problem that would be hard or almost impossible to solve manually. And then the application or app that comes out of this process can then be scaled and sold to millions. And at the end, because it's so versatile, it touches everything around you, from the washing machine to the grocery shop cashier system, rockets, and also the applications on your phone. And I used programming in the past to build e-commerce shops, develop SaaS products, and now using it to build infrastructure for digital identity solutions. And programming is a skill that anyone can learn. You don't need any special permission or expensive education. Just access to free online resources like YouTube tutorials and also other coding websites. And then with a few weeks of just continuous practice, you can build out your first application. And that's also what I did way back, learning online and then creating small projects where I then applied my learnings. And also many people say, but I'm not technical enough. And I used to think the same thing. But here's the truth. Programming isn't just about natural talent, it's about persistence. And once you get it over this initial learning curve, it becomes much easier. Even if you only learn programming and then never really become a programmer, it helps you to become a better thinker. It gives you a mindset then that helps you to analyze certain product issues, optimize processes, and also find solutions through this structured, logical, algorithmic, and abstract thinking that programming teaches you. And I'm doing the same today in my job. I'm constantly exposed to code, and my ability to understand it is crucial. Still, I'm not actively writing code anymore. And then at the end, whether you use programming to build your own products, enhance your career, or simply sharpen your problem-solving skills, it remains one of the most powerful tools to be able to create value and opportunity in the digital age. Connecting with others. Often, the people earning the most are not the ones with the best skills, but those who learned to connect with, motivate, and also lead others. Now, the problem, due to all these digital innovations over the last few years, we can stay at home all day if we want to, reducing the need to interacting with others to almost zero. And then this leaves little room to practice our people skills, which not only help us strengthen our careers and help us grow professionally, but which also help us build up lifelong friendships. Now, the great thing is that connecting with others is a skill like writing and programming, and we can learn it and practice it. And one of the best books on this topic is How to Win and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. 3 lessons I took away from it is: be genuinely interested in others. Be curious to learn more about the other person by asking questions like, why do they love something about something else? Why do they do what they do for work? What has led them to the life they are living right now? Do follow-ups and also try to understand their point of view. And I'm still often surprised on what you can learn by just looking at things from a new perspective. Use the person's name. There's no word in the world we like more than our own name. And then learning and remembering the names of the people you are interacting with changes everything. Because try to watch yourself when someone asks you for something, but then adds your name in front of it. And how different your reaction would have been if they wouldn't have done it. It's just really powerful. Be a good listener. Often, when we are speaking with others, we are already thinking about how we will respond, instead of fully taking in what the other person is saying. And then only after they have finished their sentence, coming up with our response ourselves. At the end, the ability to truly connect with others isn't just a career-enhancing skill that helps you earn more. It's the difference between achieving isolated success and building a fulfilling life, rich with opportunity, support, and also lasting friendships. How goes the saying? Even the greatest treasure becomes useless unless you're able to share it with someone. At the end, the foundation to master any skill isn't the how, it's the why, and the understanding of your deeper motivation. And I documented the whole process of how I found my why in this video right here. So if you're interested, you can check that out. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And remember, keep growing, keep striving, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.